Hey everyone, welcome back to ShadowSpeak English. We're genuinely very happy that you decided to spend some time with us today, because this episode is going to help you feel much more comfortable and confident while speaking English naturally in everyday conversations.
Yes. And today's lesson is honestly one of the most important grammar topics for English learners, because we are going to focus on how native speakers actually use do, does, and did during real conversations in daily life.
Exactly. These small grammar words may look simple when you first study them, but once you begin speaking English naturally and quickly, they suddenly become much more confusing than expected.
I completely agree, because sometimes I understand the grammar perfectly while reading quietly or practicing slowly by myself. But when I suddenly begin speaking English during a real conversation, my brain becomes nervous, and I accidentally mix everything together.
And honestly, Amy, that happens to almost every English learner in the world, because speaking naturally and understanding grammar rules are actually two very different skills.
Yes, and I especially notice this problem when asking questions, because sometimes I accidentally say things like, "Did you went there?" or "She don't like coffee," and then I realize the mistake immediately after speaking.
And that is completely normal, because fast conversations do not give your brain enough time to carefully analyze grammar rules one by one before speaking.
That's true, and I think many learners feel embarrassed after making these kinds of mistakes.
Exactly, but mistakes are actually an extremely important part of becoming fluent in English, because every correction helps your brain recognize grammar patterns more naturally over time.
So instead of studying grammar from a textbook again today, we're going to learn through a realistic conversation, just like native speakers use in daily life, right?
Exactly. We're going to listen carefully to a natural conversation, notice common speaking mistakes, and then slowly correct everything together step by step, so the grammar feels much easier to remember naturally.
And before we begin today's lesson, we have another English challenge question for everyone listening right now, because we want you to actively think with us during the episode.
Yes, don't just listen passively today. Try to participate actively, because that is one of the fastest ways to improve your English speaking confidence.
All right, everyone, here is today's challenge question. Which sentence sounds more natural? Did you went to the store yesterday? Did you go to the store yesterday?
Take a few seconds to think carefully about your answer, because we'll explain everything later during the lesson.
And make sure you write your answer in the comments section, because we genuinely enjoy reading your responses and helping you improve your English naturally through practice.
And if you enjoy calm podcast-style English lessons like this one, please support ShadowSpeak English by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this lesson with another English learner who wants to improve naturally.
All right, everyone, relax, get comfortable, listen carefully, and let's begin today's real conversation analysis.
All right, everyone. Now let's carefully listen to a conversation between Ryan and Emma. Don't focus too much on grammar during the first listening. Instead, simply relax and notice if any sentence sounds unusual or unnatural to your ears.
Hey, Emma, do your brother still work at the coffee shop near the train station? Or did he finally decide to leave that job and try something completely different?
No, he don't work there anymore because he recently started a completely new job at a design company downtown, and honestly, he seems much happier now than before.
Oh, wow. That actually sounds really interesting, because I remember him saying that he enjoyed working at the coffee shop when I spoke to him a few months ago. Did he like working there before leaving?
Yeah, he really enjoyed the people and the friendly environment there, but he say the work schedule slowly became too stressful and exhausting after several months.
Yeah, that honestly makes complete sense, because working long hours every day can become very tiring after some time. Did you talk to him recently about his new office job?
Yes. Actually, I did spoke with him yesterday evening for almost an hour, and he told me that the new workplace feels much calmer and more organized compared to his previous job.
That's honestly really good to hear, because he definitely looked stressed and exhausted the last time I saw him.
Okay, I could understand the meaning of the entire conversation very clearly, but several sentences immediately sounded strange and slightly unnatural while I was listening.
That's actually a very good sign, Amy, because the moment your brain begins noticing that something sounds incorrect or unnatural, it means your English listening instincts are becoming stronger.
I think most of the mistakes happen because the conversation mixed do, does, and did incorrectly with other verbs, while switching between present tense and past tense.
Exactly right. And this is honestly one of the most common grammar problems English learners experience while trying to speak quickly and naturally during conversations.
Especially when asking questions, because everything starts happening so fast in your mind while speaking.
Exactly. So, now let's slowly analyze each sentence carefully and understand why the mistakes happened and how native speakers would naturally correct them. Let's carefully look at the first sentence from Ryan. Do your brother still work at the coffee shop? What sounds unusual or incorrect in this sentence to you?
I think the problem is connected to the subject, because your brother is only one person, so using do sounds incorrect to me.
Excellent observation. Since your brother is singular, we need to use does instead of do. Correct sentence. Does your brother still work at the coffee shop?
So with singular subjects like he, she, and it, we usually use does in questions and negative sentences.
Exactly right. And with plural subjects or subjects like I, you, we, and they, we usually use do.
I think hearing the complete patterns together makes them much easier to remember naturally while speaking.
That's absolutely true, because the human brain remembers repeated patterns and rhythms much more effectively than isolated grammar rules. Now let's examine Emma's next sentence carefully. He don't work there anymore.
I think this sentence should use doesn't because we are talking about he.
Exactly right. Correct sentence. He doesn't work there anymore.
So when we use doesn't, the main verb stays simple and does not change.
Perfect observation. That's why we say, he doesn't work. Not, he doesn't works.
I think many learners accidentally add s to the verb because they forget that does already carries the grammar information.
Exactly. And that's one of the most common English-speaking mistakes in beginner and intermediate conversations. Now let's look carefully at another very common mistake. Did he liked working there before leaving?
I think after did, the next verb should return to its base form instead of staying in past tense.
Excellent observation. Correct sentence. Did he like working there before leaving?
So
Hey.
after did, we should never use verbs like liked, went, saw, talked.
Exactly, because did already tells us that the sentence is talking about the past.
So we say did go, did talk, did see, did like.
Perfect. That is exactly how native speakers structure these sentences naturally. Now let's look at another sentence from Emma. He say the work schedule became stressful.
Since the subject is he, I think we should say says instead of say.
Exactly right. Correct sentence. He says the work schedule became stressful.
So in present tense conversations, singular subjects usually need verbs ending in s or as.
Exactly. That small s sound is extremely important in natural English grammar.
And I think learners sometimes forget it because it feels like such a tiny detail while speaking quickly.
That's absolutely true, but those tiny details often make spoken English sound much more natural and fluent. Now let's fix another extremely common speaking mistake. Did you talk to him recently?
I know this one now because after did, the main verb should always return to its base form.
Perfect. Correct sentence. Did you talk to him recently?
So we should never combine did plus talked, did plus went, did plus saw.
Exactly right. Instead, we say, did talk, did go, did see.
I feel like this grammar pattern is becoming much clearer in my mind now because we're repeating it naturally through conversation.
And that repetition is exactly what helps grammar stay in long-term memory. Now let's correct the final mistake from Emma's conversation. I did spoke with him yesterday.
Again, after did, the verb should stay simple and return to its base form.
Exactly right. Correct sentence. I did speak with him yesterday.
So, did already controls the tense, which means the next verb does not need to become past tense again.
Perfect explanation, Amy. All right, everyone. It's finally time to reveal the answer to today's English challenge question.
Let's carefully look at the two sentences one more time. A. Did you went to the store yesterday? Did you go to the store yesterday?
The correct answer is, did you go to the store yesterday?
Because after did, the main verb must always return to its base form.
Exactly. Since did already shows past tense, the next verb becomes simple.
So we say, did go, did eat, did see, did speak.
Exactly never. Did went. Did ate. Did saw. Did spoke. All right, everyone. Now let's listen carefully to the corrected version of Ryan and Emma's conversation and notice how much smoother and more natural everything sounds.
Hey Emma, does your brother still work at the coffee shop near the train station, or did he finally decide to leave that job and try something completely different?
No, he doesn't work there anymore because he recently started a completely new job at a design company downtown, and honestly, he seems much happier now than before.
Oh wow, that actually sounds really interesting because I remember him saying that he enjoyed working at the coffee shop when I spoke to him a few months ago. Did he like working there before leaving?
Yeah, he really enjoyed the people and the friendly environment there, but he says the work schedule slowly became too stressful and exhausting after several months.
Yeah, that honestly makes complete sense because working long hours every day can become very tiring after some time. Did you talk to him recently about his new office job?
Yes. Actually, I did speak with him yesterday evening for almost an hour, and he told me that the new workplace feels much calmer and more organized compared to his previous job.
That's honestly really good to hear because he definitely looked much happier the last time I saw him.
Wow, this corrected version sounds much smoother, clearer, and more natural compared to the original conversation.
Exactly. And the interesting part is that we only changed a few small grammar words, but those small corrections completely improved the natural flow of the conversation. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode. And we genuinely hope this lesson helped you feel much more confident about using do, does, and did naturally during real-life English conversations.
Yes. And I personally feel that learning through realistic conversations makes grammar much easier to understand, because we are not only memorizing rules, we are actually hearing how native-style conversations flow naturally in daily life.
Exactly. The more real English conversations you listen to consistently, the more naturally your brain begins recognizing grammar patterns automatically, without needing to stop and think too much while speaking.
And if you made mistakes during today's quiz or practice sections, please don't feel discouraged, because mistakes are a completely normal and important part of improving your English speaking confidence.
Absolutely. Every mistake you notice and correct today becomes progress for your future conversations.
And we would genuinely love to hear from you in the comments section below. Which grammar mistake confuses you the most while speaking English? And which topic would you like us to explain in the next ShadowSpeak English episode? And if you enjoyed learning English with us today, please support ShadowSpeak English by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this lesson with another English learner who wants to improve naturally and confidently.
Thank you so much for spending your time learning with us today. We truly appreciate your support and your positive energy in this learning community.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep speaking English without being afraid of mistakes. Bye everyone, and happy learning!